Ngiyakulochisa General.
Dumela, honorable member.
Namhlanje ilanga labomma lokukhuluma isikhethu noma ngabe ukhuluma yiphi language ngicabanga ukuthi nesikhethu esiyasazi mhlambe ngibethe nesuthunyana lapha nesipedi mara ningangihleka ni mara ngizokhuluma isikhethu but for the sake of time ngizakubetha isikhuwa msinyana.
Is the language called skid?
Isikhethu isindebele.
Oh,
iye. Ya uyasazi mara isindebele ngithi.
Ke mme wa ka Letebele sina.
Asitebele ke indebele. Yeah, ngithokoze Lieutenant General, the Deputy Commissioner. Chair, I think in this country there was this misconception that the Deputy Commissioner is only General Sibiya. There's 3 Deputy Co-Commissioner, and one of them, I think, is yourself. Am I right?
Yes, you're correct.
And you've been in the police for many years. Your CV is very impressive, I must say. And I guess I'm going to start with one question which has been going on, and I've asked many generals about this matter of Senzo Meyiwa. I'm not sure whether you were still with the province at that time when Senzo Meyiwa was killed.
That's correct.
You were still with the province?
Yes, I was in the province.
Now, in your opinion, are you happy with that investigation from the police of Senzo Meyiwa? Let's forget about the court for now. What is happening in court is something else. But are you happy of what exactly happened in the scene where Senzo Meyiwa was killed in Fostoras?
With what was presented to me by the team, I think they were still on the right track.
I'm sorry?
With what was presented to
Yes.
me by the team at the moment, I think I did indicated earlier that at the time that the incident happened, I was the acting provincial commissioner in the absence of the then provincial commissioner, Lieutenant General Mutiba.
Yes.
What was presented to me, I was satisfied that the team is still on the right track. What differs will be the pressure that the team had to finalize the case with speed.
So are you convinced that the people who were arrested are the right people?
I'm convinced.
And are you convinced that it was correct for General Sibiya to be on the scene on the day?
I called him.
I'm sorry?
I called him to the scene.
So it was correct for him to be in the scene because he said he was called by someone.
I called him. He should have
Not
said
necessarily you.
Yeah, but I'm confirming that it's me who called him. Maybe somebody else called, but I called him precisely because he was the provincial head of DPCI at the time.
Because what he presented on the Matlanga Commission, he said that almost everyone who's in the DCPI was under him.
In Gauteng.
In Gauteng.
Yes, he's correct.
Yeah. Now, I think the displeasure of the family and because of Senzo Meyiwa, he was a national hero. There's issues, there's holes. They poke a lot of holes in this matter. Hence, the matter is still in court. We are watching with interest of what is happening there. But there's an issue of unhappiness that the conduct of the police in that scene where Senzo was killed leaves much to be desired.
It is a regrettable state of affairs, but what the team presented at the time that they attended to the crime scene, hence the provincial leadership of the detectives, I believed that they did what was expected of them at the time.
So what was the role of General Sibiya in that incident?
Normally with high profile cases, you will have a multidisciplinary team so that they can guide and assist one another. Both General Sibiya and General Taiwe were the head of detectives. General Taiwe and General Sibiya was the head of the Hawks.
So there's no interference at all, in your view?
From him, no. At the time, no.
At the time?
At the time. And
But
I will
of
qualify.
what we know now, what would be your view?
With what is presented, again, must be investigated and he must be proven.
Now, General, let's come to the statement. I just want us to clear these paragraph, and I think I said it to you, because we are under oath, and there's a case against you of perjury, so I don't want to compromise you. I just want us to clear this once and for all. Paragraph 29. On March 6, 2025, I attended a meeting with Minister, Commissioner, the Deputy National Commissioner, Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Sibiya, Lieutenant General Kumalo, Chief of Staff, Kabinde, and the Regional Commissioner, Detective Forensic Service, Lieutenant General Sintumeling, and Lieutenant Colonel from Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Kumalo, made a presentation on PKTT at the meeting. And I think Honorable Nomvalo said it. I think he started to say the presentation proposed that this establishment and the disbandment of PKTT, if considered, will take form of transition from the National Political Task Team to the component serious and violent crime, murder and robbery within the division of the Detective and Forensic Services. Then when you go to paragraph 36, I do not recall any meeting in which it was suggested or even directed that the task team as a whole should be demobilized or disbanded. I can confirm that I was not in any meeting where the minister raised the issue of the PKTT, in particular on the disbandment of the PKTT. I can recall the initial engagement with the minister in terms that he should, whether certain operational matters and initiatives were presented, indicated that the new ministry support existing initiative and that the status quo of the current operational intervention in various provinces must be maintained. He reiterated that he has full confidence of the National Commissioner. Now, these two, they contradict each other. I would just want you to clear up, and then we start to depart on this, what we presented and what you have attached on your submission.
Paragraph 36, maybe chronologically, was supposed to come before paragraph 29, but it's no, I will clarify that a confusion that you are raising. Paragraph 36, it's referring to matters prior to the letter of the 31st, meetings that were held prior to the meeting of the 31st. And I think I was looking at the minutes of the meeting of the 1st of November before the directive was issued. On paragraph 29, it is now where the team was requested to present, and we were discussing now. It's after the 31st of December 2024. And paragraph 36, it's making reference to any other meeting prior to the 31st of December 2024.
So it's the issue of the chronology that
it's the issue of chronology. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, General, because the issue of the PKTT is being exhausted many times here. Now, I just want to say that the honorable members, I think they've asked that because you've been in, I think at that time you were an acting national commissioner, am I right?
That's correct.
And you only knew about the matter on the 2nd, not on the 1st, am I right?
I did not pick it up. It was on the email, but because it's festive season, it's the 31st, I did not open the laptop. I was on the ground.
Yeah, in
So
fact,
the
yeah.
emails I did not see, and I will not say the emails will be in the office. I have the iPad, I have the laptop, but because I was already on the ground, I did not see the email on the 31st.
Yeah, in fact, we were surprised because it happened on the 31st when everybody was in a good mood. In fact, the minister took that decision unilaterally. So, but I think that has been canvassed enough here in this committee. Let's come to this issue of Paul O'Sullivan. Paul O'Sullivan, do you have confidence in him?
I don't have confidence.
Do you have trust in him? Do you think that this so-called forensic, I call it fraud, for a forensic company, because of what is presented to me now, alleged for now, and I'll have some backing on that, but that will be the decision of this committee at the end, whether is it authentic or is it involved in all these shenanigans which happens in the top echelons of the SAPS and other security agents in this country.
Okay. Maybe to conclude on the confidence part.
Yes.
That now, after everything that is happening, you do not just trust the person. I think the intuition of a police officer in me, you do not just trust. I think it was coming from there and after everything that was said. But in terms of forensic, I will not, without facts, doubt that the forensic investigation team that he was involved with was authentic.
Yeah. Yeah, because himself is not a qualified forensic investigator. I mean, we found out here he claimed to be an engineer, and now he knows beyond reasonable doubt that he's not. You know, but be that as it may, we will, because it's coming back here. Let me ask you now on this matter, because Honorable Mantheis, I think, is the one who asked about him. Because it was alleged that the matter, let me start by asking you, do you know Bandile Masuku?
No,
Have you ever spoken to him?
no.
Now, because there was an allegation, why I'm saying that?
Bandile Masuku in Gauteng.
And MEC,
No, I know him.
at that time, you know him.
I know him.
Have you ever spoken to him?
No, I don't think so.
You don't remember?
Unless
maybe.
when we are attending an event in Gauteng.
Because if you remember well, there was an allegation because your Paul O'Sullivan and these some journalists, Stratcom journalists, Mariam Tam, you name them, Karin, the name is Van Veek, Paula Van Veek, and others. There was an allegation that a forensic report which was commissioned by Gauteng Health MEC Bandile Masuku has cleared him of any wrongdoing in the Gauteng personal protective equipment scandal. And the allegation was that the person who in fact sent the integrity committee of the ANC and that you recommended Paul O'Sullivan to Bandile Masuku, and in return, Paul O'Sullivan made a report to clear Masuku and send that report to the Integrity Committee of the African National Congress. But the allegation is that Paul O'Sullivan was recommended by yourself. Is that true?
It's not true.
Now, you never send any email which recommended Paul O'Sullivan or copy him or singing his praise on the issue of Jackie Selebi.
No, I don't remember.
Are you aware that ANC Integrity Committee preferred Paul O'Sullivan on the report over the report of the SIU in concluding or alleged Masuku and Loiso involvement in the PPE issue in Gauteng?
I'm not aware.
You are not aware at all.
No.
So you distance yourself from this.
I do distance myself. I did not recommend. I did not send email recommending.
So you never recommended Paul O'Sullivan anyway.
I don't remember doing so.
Now, is it true that the SAPS, in fact, let me start by asking you this question, because Paul O'Sullivan said he open dockets. You can go to any of his interview. He'll say that I've opened a docket. In my understanding, a docket can only be opened by a policeman or a policewoman. Am I right?
You are correct. He can give statement, but he cannot open the docket.
But he's the one who's saying he's opening docket against people. It's not me.
No.
And I'm saying, what are you going to do about that? Because now you know that he has done that, and he's doing that, and brazily so, posting that I've opened a docket against this person and this person. I've said this police station are not opening a case. It says it's opening a docket.
Maybe we need to clarify and which context of opening a docket. Maybe the reference of him opening a docket is when he either give the statement that will then be taken into the cover SAPS 3M, but he will not open the docket himself because he cannot commission a docket. He will give the statement only the commissioner of oath. In the case of a docket, a police officer will have to commission the statement that is presenting. He is not a police officer.
Yeah, in fact, because he's coming back, you'll have to answer us on that, because it's himself many times that is opening docket. And I was surprised as well that understanding that there's this allegation that he has contaminated the top echelon of SAPS, IPID, IDEC, and if I may ask you, in terms of IDEC, or IDEC, in your view, for them to have all the powers of arresting, because we are told that they are intimidating you as well as top echelons in the police service, what is your view on that? Can you make a comment?
They do have arresting power that was conferred to them on the proclamation that was made by the president. So they will arrest. But intimidation, I think they need to investigate cases to arrest members, and it should be the matter that warrants the arrest. They have not intimidated me because I think you said you and others. I have not yet been intimidated. Maybe they are still coming. Maybe they are still coming. So far, they haven't.
And in terms of IPID, are you happy with the way they conduct themselves?
Look, they are my colleagues. We are working, we are engaging. The fact that it's taking long to finalize my matter, the fact that they had the docket that they were not supposed to have, will not make me not to have confidence in them. I think it's the matter of correcting what is wrong. That is what I believe in.
In your submission, you submitted one of the honorable members a statement, yes, one affidavit, Honorable Fidel Adams. Am I right?
That's correct.
He made a lot of allegations here about nepotism. He says that Ms. Kutso Makwela, the commissioner's daughter-in-law, reportedly joined SAPS under the circumstances which normally recruitment and vetting process appear to have been bypassed. It's alleged that the background check, qualification verification, and the competitive interview process were ignored. Is it true?
I don't know. I'm not in the HR space. Maybe HR can confirm whether that happened or not.
But have you ever heard of that, or is it first time?
I saw it on the statement.
Now, there's allegation against you to say that there's a cover-up in the case where your cell phone, and I think you explain it vividly for us here, to say that because of the SIM card, I think if you have to clear yourself, this is the time. That he is alleging, because he's still going to come here as well, so it's good that we are here before him, that the evidence suggests that the stolen cell phone linked to a theft was traced to Pulani Mutaung, and relevant to the incident was reportedly obtained. However, the case was abruptly closed by Major General Sibiya, and there's no record confirming whether the footage was reviewed by independent investigators. Major General Sibiya, a close ally of a national commissioner, was assigned to oversee and close the file, which raised serious concern about a conflict of interest. My question is, because he is alleging that this was closed prematurely, Because you remember that you said yourself that you were still traumatized because you were once upon a time held at gunpoint. You know, hence I'm saying this country, I don't know what is happening at your level. A general, people will have the audacity to come and hold you at gunpoint. Now, understanding that this troubled you, as you said, but for him to allege that you are concealing an evidence is a serious allegation. Can you really just clarify the issue of a SIM card that you borrowed a phone, you know, a handset, you know, and perhaps you did the so-called SIM swap, I guess. I don't know, but can you explain for us in short?
Because of my position and the operational nature, I cannot go beyond 2 to 4 hours without a contact.
Yes.
So immediately when I reported the case, I used the other phone, and the office started the process of getting the SIM swap, and they did the SIM swap and presented the card to me that they don't have a handset. Therefore, I will need to find the handset in the meantime, and the following morning, because it was already late, they will make arrangements with the office that is having loan phones to borrow the handset. So
Yes.
in the meantime, as I was waiting to get the loan phone, I had to improvise to get the handset. I did not have an alternative handset, hence I borrowed the handset to insert the SIM card so that I am reachable. So that is the reason why the phone was activated. It is the SIM swap that was activated whilst I was awaiting to have either a loan phone or a replacement of the phone, considering that the matter happened on a weekend. So I had to find the handset immediately so that I'm reachable, including that if the investigators will want to get hold of me, they will reach me. So I had to activate my number.
Thank you very, very much, General. How many times have you acted as the acting national commissioner in this country, if you remember?
If I include the past week, including weekend until Sunday when the national commissioner was out of office, I think it will calculate to 11 times.
Now, you've got an extensive experience for 36 years or 38 years, if I remember. That's what you told us today.
36 and a half to be precise.
Now, I want to go to the issue of border management, BMA. The role of the Border Management Authority and yourself, do they have the capacity as well to arrest, to open dockets? What is your view on that as well? Like, as I ask you about IDEC, I'm asking you now about this BMA.
With the powers conferred on the BMA officials and in terms of
Section 5 of the BMA.
Section 4, 2, and Section 5,
Yes.
the BMA Act, yes. But their arrest, they will hand over the arrested person immediately to the police for further processing. That is why it is important that the police should not work very far from them.
Do you agree that we have serious challenges in the border post? Entry and exit.
I agree, we have.
And what are you doing about it?
Prior to this directive that was given to have a revised plan, the directors general of the cluster have already summoned the NAT joints to establish what we call priority committees, to have teams and persons that will work. There will be a chairperson of the priority committee that will later on report to the NAT joints leadership, which is myself, alongside the other two co-chairs persons and the DDGs, the deputy director generals of the department as appointed to be sitting on the adjourns.
Now, this, I think you've raised the issue that the BMA is not mandated to detect or disrupt criminal networks. Am I right?
That's correct.
And the power furthermore do not override the need for a dedicated capacity to detect and all those illegal activities as is exercised by SAPS. Now, my question would be, with the current scenario which South Africa is facing of illegal immigrants, I see you spoke about rotations, that they are rotating members. In terms of percentage, are you happy as the management of SAPS, especially as a Deputy National Commissioner, of what is happening in our border post? With all illegal immigrants coming in and out, posting, videos, how easy, and understand that as well, the South African Defense Force are involved as well in the issue of making sure that this country is protected. But this alleged corruption in the border, post, hence I'm asking, what measures are you taking? Because this thing, it's viral. It's like we don't have borders in this country.
I believe we do have borders. We just need to have a proper management of the borders, hence the establishment of the priority committee that director generals are aware of, and the fact that we are working side by side with each other in the borders. And I think what will have to come out clear is that the capacity will never enough. Yes. Looking at the magnitude of the problems that we are having at the borders.
With my 4 minutes left, I'm going to be quicker as well. The issue as well, because yourself, you raise it, that there's a high volume of illegal activities, such as smuggling, human trafficking, illicit trade, is often concealed under the guise of legitimate cross-border movement. Now, don't you think that there's duplication between yourself and the BMA? Hence, we have this high volume.
I don't think there is a duplication. There's a need for the coexistence. Hence, the BMA will coexist with other structures such as customs, as well as the National Defense Force, equally with the police that will then be discharged with a classical policing at the borders.
Now, you remember that there was a plane landed at OR Tambo.
Yes, I know.
Those people had nothing. How possible is that? How do they bypass the immigration? Wherever country they come from, Pakistan, Bangladesh, or Ethiopia, or anywhere in the world, or Nigeria, to come to our airport, land there. What is your take on that?
Maybe it was correct that they did not pass.
Yes.
It became
topical.
Yes. It became topical because the I was called. I engaged the directors generals responsible, and the necessary implementations were undertaken, including at the ministerial level. So they did not pass any security measures. They were attended to.
Yes, I understand that. But what I was saying is that they had to be kept for hours and hours at OR Tambo. As you said, SADC, like myself. Is it a problem of the SADC countries or PAP for them to allow people to leave their countries and say, you know what, South Africa is free for all? But because they came with a aircraft, maybe that's where the problem was. But if they were using what these our neighboring countries are doing, crossing through the rivers, it means they would have been in this country.
Should they have used other forms?
Yes.
And we should recall as well that they used a chartered flight.
Yes.
And it was intercepted because information have reached the intelligence communities that were operating.
Thank you. General, my last comment is that General Mkhwanazi was very brave to go in public and say there's a rot in this country. We have to reset the country. And I hope that with your experience as well in the police service and your colleagues, let's not let down this country. Let the South African Police Service maintain its integrity. And let's reset, because we know now, even if it's still allegation, but there's some evidence which even a kindergarten kid can see that there's a problem in this country. Do you accept that?
I do accept.
Thank you. Thank you, General.